Lovely. Right. Some view. So I'm in Ballyleague, Lanesborough today, and I'm going doing a track session. We have a 400 metre track here, and basically I meant to do this about 3 or 4 hours ago, but the day ran away from me completely. So I'm going to run through today's session. It's a deload week. I have some fitness testing to do, so I'm taking a deload week. So how this deload week looks is I'm only doing one gym session anyway per every 5 days, so I've kept that the same. That's still been the same heavy session that I'm doing, so I progressed that. But in terms of the conditioning side of things and the build up now towards a fitness test, what I'm doing is on the running I've cut the volume way down. So I'm still going to hit the same pace goals I've been hitting, but the volume is going to drop right down. So for example, over the last few weeks, if I've been doing 5, 6, 7 kilometers broken up at my goal pace, that is coming down to 2 kilometers today. So my session is warm up. I'm going to spend about 20 minutes plus warming up. Then I'm going to get into 5 sets of 400 meters, and I'll just find it here on the watch. 5 sets of 400 meters running, and I'm going to rest 90 seconds. That rest is going to be just either a walk or just, to be honest, I'll probably just move around in or around the same spot. I'm going to just try and rest totally. So I have it here. So my warm-up is going to look a little bit different. If this was a higher volume session, I probably wouldn't bother spending 20 plus minutes warming up, because I have so much running to do anyway, that I would just go out and do a kilometre and a half, a few hops and skips, maybe a few strides, and then I'd get into it. But today, so what I'm going to do is warm up. I'm going to get a lap or so in. I'm going to get some mobility, just some lunges, squats, different movements. I'm going to get some skips, some hops, some pogos. I'm going to get a couple of strides, and then I'm going to get some more aggressive bounds and switches and things like that. So the difference is, because I only have 2 kilometers of work today, I only have 5 sets of 400, they become increasingly important. I want to be able to nail the paces that I'm going to nail on those, so I want to give the warm-up a good amount of time. When I'm doing a session or a threshold session where I have, 6, maybe 8K worth of intervals, then to be honest, I'm going to hit them over the time anyway, because I'll have a bit more time to play with, that I'm going to hit them. Eventually I can get the average down, but for today I'll keep it low and keep it quality. But I'm going to get going now because it's fucking freezing. Right, so I'm starting off fairly handily. I'm just going to go for a bit of a jog. I'll just do 1 lap, and then my second lap, what I tend to do is start my mobility practice. Start some backward jogging, side skips, things like that. Usually I like to get about 3 laps in before I start getting into my designated warm-up, which would be up and down a 50 meter slip, whether it's hops, bounds, marches, skips or strides. I like to get about 1200 meters first and foremost when I'm on a track, just to get the body moving. I am, however, today a little bit tight for time. Look, I was meant to be here hours ago, and I've kind of fucked up my eating around it as that. So this morning I had eggs and bagels, and I thought a few hours later I had a little bit of yogurt with some granola, honey, banana, and I thought that'll do me now. In 2 hours I'll be done a bit of work and I can go running. A lot more work crept up than I thought. I was on a roll with certain parts of it, so I thought, fuck it, I'll keep at this and I'll get it done today rather than putting it off between clients. So then I was like, right, I'll go in the next hour. So I had a Rice Krispies square thing. Thought, grand, I'll get going in an hour. Anyway, a couple of hours passed, so I literally just sank a gel down into me in the car on the way over here. Just some fast-acting carbs. And I was almost stressing out that the runs are going to feel awful because I'm a bit under-fueled. But then I was thinking, fucking hell, if that's the depth of my problems, it's a pretty good day to be alive. So I'm just coming up on 1 lap now, and I'll get going on some movements. Again, usually I go on a bit of a second lap, but I'll get the warm-up done here, seeing as I brought the camera. Why not? I did not bring the dog today. I couldn't really. There's public schools either side of the track, and I thought people might be up here and he'd be too wired, and I wanted to get the runs done. Right, I'm gonna go this way. Sometimes people can really complicate the goal of a deload, or they can get in their heads about it, but it depends on the time of the year, I suppose. For my deload, I really like to keep the same pace. I'd be a big fan of keeping the same pace and just bringing the volume down. So I like to keep the intensity high. I kind of do the same with the gym. I factor in those heavier lifts, but 1 to 3 reps for a lot of them. Or I keep really high intent on certain movements. I just don't do half the amount I usually do. But look, there's lots of ways to go about it. There's no real wrong way. With something like that, you just have to find what works for you. And you'll find everything's different. Even different times of the year, different ones would work well for me, you know. Like there might be another time of the year where I just say, all right, I go and I do my distance work, or I do my same volume of thresholds. I just bring the pace right down, but I don't feel like I need to this time of year. I feel like I'm good to go, so I feel this will be worth a bit more to me. It's funny, people kind of always assume because you're doing a bit in the off season that when you hit the pitch you're going to be flying. It's not the case really. Like when you hit the pitch you're still going to be fairly fucked. You're just not going to be as fucked as you would be if you did nothing. And then on the other hand, what I find interesting about it is, like, I don't know how to put this. Let's say you've been running all throughout the season, or you've been doing a load of bike work. If you're coming into the season kind of expecting that to do everything for you and expecting that to be like, all right, well, I'm fit now, I'm flying it on the track, or I'm flying it in my 100 meters or whatever. If that's kind of where your head is at, then I don't know, like, you kind of need to understand that it's not that simple, that the work you do off the season, it's not to get you match fit, or it's to get you fit for sure, but it's not to get you up to that level that you think you're going to be at. It's to build a really wide base and give yourself the opportunity to get fitter. So what I feel like I'm doing now is, sure, I'm not unfit. I feel fit and I feel great. But like, I would feel fit and feel great if I was on the bike and rower and skier all winter. I'd feel excellent. But that doesn't mean when I get on the pitch all of a sudden I'm going to be bombing it and I'm going to be 100% and everything's going to feel great. But what I feel it does do that people don't talk about is it gives you the opportunity to get better, or it widens the base for you to get a taller peak, or it gives you the opportunity to be faster, be fitter and be better. So if you're coming into the season thinking that you're going to be flying it from day one, hold back that expectation a bit. It's going to be rough when you get on grass and you're turning and cutting and playing small-sided games and your breath is running out and you're thinking, fuck, I've done a bit over the winter. You know, don't be too bogged down on yourself. It's going to be pretty normal to feel that way. Okay, so just back from another lap. I said I'd do half of it just over a 4-minute pace, half of it under a 4-minute pace, just to get the breathing going a little bit. I want to kind of warm up to a point that I don't need this jacket for the first run, so we'll use that as the marker. I'm just going to get into some pogos and skips now. Look, I'll work across the way so you can see. Nothing too technical. Just starting off with some bounds, or hops, I mean. I should have brought the fucking dog. Okay, I'm going to do another light half a lap, get into some skips, which I'll video, some strides, and then we'll get cracking. Okay. Okay, so that's most of the warm-up done. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do 2 strides. So I'm just going to build up just under 100 meters, maybe 80 or so. I'm going to get a rest up there, and then I'm going to come back down doing the same, probably in and around the same pace. I'm going to take 2 minutes, and then I'm going to get into my first run. I'm currently only at 1400 meters, but 18 minutes worth of warming up done. So feeling like this can come off soon, which is good. Before I go into the stride, fuck it, no, I'll talk after. All right, that is 2 strides done. Rest in a minute or two now. 20 minutes and 35 seconds gone, and then we're going to get into it. Our first set of 400. But what I wanted to talk about first was I've put people off running indirectly, and it's a mistake I've made as a coach and as a teammate in previous years. And you kind of see it everywhere. And look, there's validation to it. There is a point to it, and that is, if you're trying to get fit for football, I know I mentioned in the warm-up, what you're trying to do is widen your base for the potential to get fitter at football. But as close to that as possible, you want to not avoid, but you want to prioritize your interval running, your speed work, your threshold running, things like that. 5Ks, they're not going to cut it too much. I know a lot of great 5K runners who don't have an engine in football, and I know a lot of people who have a great engine in football and they're not the best 5K runners. It's because they're very different tasks, they're very different demands on the body, and it's important to know that. But a mistake that I've made is I've put people off running at all. So, you know, I've said to people, you know, don't bother with the 3 or 5K. If you're going to run, do the intervals, prioritize that. But I suppose what I wasn't getting in my head is, number one, that person won't go to a public gym to go on a treadmill to do it, so that's a no-go, or they don't have access to one, or they don't live near one, or it's an easy cop-out for them not to go. Second thing is, they can leave their house, or they can get out of the car, start their watch, whatever, and they can go for 3 or 5K, get back in and go home without even thinking about it. But when you have to go somewhere, warm up, hit certain time splits, hit certain distances, hit certain intervals, it's harder to actually get out of the house and go and do that. So people avoid it, people don't do it. People just don't run as opposed to it. So I have made the mistake in the past of saying to people, including teammates, saying, don't bother with that, do this. But as a result, what happened is nothing was done. I know a lot of people who've gotten very good results from fitness tests from just getting out and running. Absolutely no planning, no intervals, no massive adherence to a strict program or anything like that. They just got out 2 or 3 nights a week and they ran. And sometimes for a lot of people, that's enough. So what I would be saying to you is, even though you're hearing a lot of this noise about what you should be doing and what isn't as much of a return on investment, and I still don't think 3 5Ks are a great return on investment for football fitness, I think if you're going to do nothing, 3 or 5K is much, 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 much better than that. And it will give you a higher return on investment than doing nothing. So as much as I say don't get bogged down in the information, or don't go the whole paralysis by analysis kind of route, you're better off just actually going and doing something rather than doing nothing, even if that means just getting out for a few 5Ks here and there. And I will be back around in hopefully around 1 minute and 15 if I have anything, if I can do it. Okay, 3, 2, 1, we're off. Okay, 113 on the first. I'll see, can I keep it below 115 for a few? The goal would be nice to keep it below 115 for them all. But That is a little bit faster than my target pace, so we'll see. We will see. Okay. I have 20 seconds till I'm going again. Heart rate's still a bit jacked up. Probably not as down as much as I'd like. I'm going to change direction this time. 8 seconds. Oh, 111, which I probably should peel it back a little. I feel like I'm going to say that every run. I might just, you know, I thought that'd be slower. Fully enough, when I was running it, I didn't look at the watch once. I'm trying to get out of that habit of looking at it every few seconds. Oh. But yeah, I'm surprised it was 2 seconds quicker again. Okay. All right, so the thing I love about 5 runs is after this third one, I'm well over halfway, which is great. So 22 seconds, I'm going again. Again, 1:15 is going to be the goal if I come in below. All right. But I think I know what that feels like now, which is good. So 10 more seconds. All right. I'm gonna go the other way. Third run, 1:16. That 1:11 came to bite me a little, but I probably should have checked my watch because I definitely had more in the tank to pick it up. I got a little lazy there. 1:15 was the target. Even missing it by a second, to be honest, would piss me off a little. So we got 2 more to go. I know what you're thinking. Probably the nicest jersey out there. I've just put in an order recently, actually, for a good few clients, so you're about to see a lot of these tops around town, boy. 2 more runs going in 20 seconds. Calling it here now. I'm coming in less than 1:15. Second last one. Oh. 1:10. Okay, we're back on track. Okay. What's funny is I joined an athletics club, a running club, after coming back from my knee injury. And I remember I'd done it the winter I was back, and the following winter after I was back for a year. I remember doing 400 meter splits, and the difference when you're running with people, like I was coming in a lot of those in 65 seconds. So 5 seconds faster than that pace I'm at there. And remember the last one on the night, I think I done 62, which I was delighted with. Do you know, it just goes to show when you're running with people, you get so much more out of it. But alas, I'm busy at the times they're not a lot of the time. Okay. All right, we got 12 seconds. I'll go this way. 1:15 again at least. Oh. 1:14. Yikes. Okay, so a big piece of me was thinking, before that and through it, was kind of thinking, you know, why don't you take a very easy session, seeing that you're being tested in 3 days or whatever, but what's that? Done. That you're being tested, but then I thought, fuck it, you know what? What's more important? Pushing the pace now when I can, or taking a week now? Because if I look over the last few years, like, I'd say there hasn't been many Christmases where I haven't caught a flu or a bug at some point. So when I come down as well, I come down fairly hard. So I'm as well pick my battles and say, you know what, I'm feeling good. Don't worry about any of the testing and just go out and get a good quality session. Now I still deloaded it. Probably not as much as I should have, but enough. I'm feeling all right. The only thing is, I have a bit of work to do now again with a client, so I will not be doing a cool down, much to people's disgust. And then after, a banana and a chalky milk for the way home. Ideally, when I get back, I'll shovel a bit of food into me then, a bit of real food. That's everything for today's video. I thought I'd bring you on a track run, seeing as I rarely do. The last one was running as well, so people are going to think that's all I do. But this off season, it's a fairly good reflection of what I'm at. The good thing about being generally fit going into the season is it's only going to take you 2-3 games to start to get your stride. Lads who aren't fit going in, it's going to take them more games. Lads who are generally fit going in, they'll be able to concentrate on the ball, concentrate on the skills, concentrate on the drills, the tactics, and they won't have their energy swarmed up by just the conditioning that's in the session. Whereas when you go and do a running drill, you'll be fine, or you'll recover a little bit better, and you'll be able to actually concentrate on the ball and the aspects of the sport in the football drills. Whereas lads who come back probably not in the best shape is they go do the conditioning drill, and then they spend the football drill hiding, trying to recover, fumbling the ball, slipping up, coming into bad habits with the ball because they're not able to practice, or they don't have the recovery capability to actually refresh themselves and practice the skills that they want to use in a game or further on down the line. So it's all these little things. Okay, it's getting dark, it's time to go. Until the next one, boys.